1983 to 1995, he directed the Indian Law Support Center at NARF. NARF is a NARF staff attorney. Mr. Moore has represented Indian tribes litigating a whole host of important legal claims: federal Indian reserve water rights, protection of Native American sacred lands, repatriation of human remains from museums, the religious use of peyote, the rights of Native prisoners to wear traditional long hair, possess religious articles, and have access to sweat lodges and Native spiritual leaders, the right of Native students to wear eagle feathers at public high school graduations and to wear long hair in public schools, the enforcement of federal trust responsibility, and the right of reindeer herders in Alaska to sell reindeer products free of federal income taxation. Mr. Moore is the 2008 recipient of Pierce Hickerson Award from the National Legal Aid and Defender Association in Washington, D.C. The award honors outstanding contributions to the advancement or preservation of Native American rights. A decade ago, Mr. Moore established the Indigenous Peacemaking Initiative at NARF. Mr. Moore has also been appointed by the last 3 governors to serve on the Colorado Commission of Indian Affairs and proudly served on the advisory committee of the Indian Law Clinic here at Colorado Law. He's been a mentor to a number of our students, for which we are deeply grateful. I am proud and pleased to present the 2016 Honorary Order of the Coif Award to Colorado Law alum Stephen Moore.
Good morning, everyone. First, I would just say, wow, I'm really impressed at all the family support for these graduates here today. I'm not the main event. You are the main event. Justice Ide is next to the main event, with all due respect. I want to thank Dean Weiser, Professor Lowenstein, the rest of the faculty here at Colorado Law, some of whom I've known for most of my career, primarily Charles Wilkinson, who helped me establish a tax exemption for reindeer herders in Alaska. And he may remember that. I have to thank my family who's here today and a couple of dear friends, one of whom was my law school roommate. He's willing to talk to you after the commencement ceremonies this morning. You know, obviously, no one is here today without the support of loved ones and family, and it means a tremendous amount to me that my family can be here today and share this honor with me. When Dean Weiser contacted me a few months ago about this award, I was shocked. I thought that maybe he had sent the email message to the wrong person. I have a close relationship with Colorado Law and have for many years, but the thought never occurred to me that I would be standing up here today receiving this honor from the law school. I think it's just kind of become part of my DNA that I and the Native American Rights Fund have such a close relationship with the law school. Our founding executive director, David Getches, became dean of this law school, preceding Dean Weiser. And I frankly look at the building that you all occupied for the last 3 years, and I call it the house that David built, because everything that David Getches turned his attention to in his life became a success. He had the Midas touch as an attorney and as an advocate, and he set a very high standard. Also, Charles Wilkinson and Richard Collins, other professors here at the law school, set a very high standard for what it means to be an advocate, a public interest lawyer and advocate for Native peoples. And I think that same spirit of public service is now in the DNA of the law school because of people like David Gutches and Charles Wilkinson and Rick Collins and other friends of mine now, Kristen Carpenter and Carla Fredericks and Sarah Krakoff. I'm sure that all of the other faculty sitting behind me that I haven't met carry that same sense of commitment and spirit to making this world a better place. Reflecting on my 37 years of legal practice, and it'll go in a blink of an eye, it won't be long before you're all looking back on 37 years of legal practice. I've been reflecting a lot over the last few months about what that means. For me, growing up in the West, knowing a little bit about Indian country, Indian reservations, Native people, I probably had a lot of attitudes that the mainstream Americans have about Native society, born of ignorance and lack of familiarity. My practice in Native American rights opened up a world to me that I knew very little about, and a world of possibilities, an opportunity to represent Native people and tribes and Indian organizations in a host of issues that even when I was in law school, I had no idea I was going to encounter in my legal practice. And I'm not suggesting that anyone in this room has to follow my path as a lawyer, being a Native rights advocate, or even being a public interest attorney. It doesn't matter what area of practice you're ultimately in, and as Dean Weiser suggested, you may, over the course of your career, embark on many different avenues of legal practice and advocacy. But it will open up for you, and I think you're already beginning to see this. You are on the precipice of opening up a world of possibility for you as a human being, not only to be an advocate, but ultimately to make the world a better place for all of us. Because I think if a law school is about anything, it's about equal justice under law, it's about social justice, it's about raising all boats. And the political discourse that we live in and around today certainly does not breed that. And lawyers, I think, have a particular obligation to try and set that on a better path. So, because I'm not the main event, there's probably a giant hook above me that's lowering right now. I will leave you then with that closing thought that today is the first day of the rest of your life. That's not a trivial phrase. Go out and do amazing things with your legal practice as amazing, talented human beings. And I congratulate each and every one of you today. Thank you very much.
Now we'll hear